Hello, ignore the chaos in the background. Oh my goodness. Those boys are wrestling with their daddy and having an absolute ball by the sounds of things. Meanwhile, I'm upstairs. I was going to attempt a little bit of laundry because I don't even want to show you how large these piles are. I feel like you can only, if you're like a stay-at-home parent, you either choose to be present with your kids or have a clean house. And I choose to be with my kids, and so my house is almost always a mess. I've got like, I want to say like 10 loads of laundry to catch up on, which for me immediately tells me I've just got too many clothes. Anyhow, this is meant to be like a TTC vlog, vlog number 5, I think. And I'm just upstairs getting ready for my first yoga class in like a year. I was super into yoga. I go through like phases, and for me the hard part is rationalizing the time for self. And one of the big things that I'm much better at, or I really make a priority when we are trying to conceive, is considering myself as if I were already pregnant. So if I would ordinarily look after myself in a certain kind of way, I like to adopt that, or look after myself a certain kind of way if I am carrying a baby. I like to look after myself that kind of way when we're trying to conceive. So consider yourself already pregnant if you're in that phase of life. And so the yoga class that I normally do is in the yoga barn, and it's an evening class, and that's why I find it hard to kind of like muscle up the energy. My body is very much like, okay, so we are slowing down, we're winding down, we're getting ready for bed, and this class doesn't start until like the boys' bedtime. So I'm away for bedtime, which means in early pregnancy in particular, if I've got a lot of nursing aversion, this is really nice for me because I nurse the boys to sleep. But also just in general, even like the drive, I will listen to something really nice, like my favorite podcast, or like catch up on voice notes from friends. I will arrive there like a few minutes early so I can sit in the car. Sometimes I'll go all out and I'll bring like a thermos of some like herbal tea or something for me to sip on. And then the class is like a really lovely mix of like core connection, mobility, functional movement, and yoga. So it's like a more movement class, would I say. But Hilary, who teaches it, is just absolutely fantastic. I also teach all of my birth preparation classes out there, just because the space itself is so lovely. So if you haven't checked out, and you live in the same area as me, and you haven't checked out her classes already, do. And but yoga in particular for me is really lovely because they always have a portion like really beautiful for just like overall health, mobility, flexibility, strength, all of that, but also in particular sending that lovely oxygenated blood to the uterus, which of course is so important for us to have that lovely thick lining and for us when we are trying to conceive. So that's check number 1. The other part is that lovely meditation aspect of it at the end. So relaxation is so beneficial for us and our bodies in reducing our cortisol levels, in telling our bodies that really important message, which is you are not only nourished enough, but you are also safe enough to support another baby. So that's really like a double check the box for me. So that's why I'm really keen to start back up again. And one of the other things that I'm doing this week is looking at how I nourish myself in terms of alternative therapies. So I'm going to talk you through the benefits of the things that I'm doing in the next little snippet. But for now, let's go to yoga. Oh, getting a message in the background. I thought I would also just show you, these are the pants I have been loving. They are, I want to say like 90% viscose, and the rest, 90% plot viscose and 10% spandex. It's really soft. It's by the brand Indigo Luna. A little bit pricey, but they have this beautiful waistband which either folds up or folds down. And so it's really nice for like that pregnancy, postpartum period. I also got some really nice skirts and some cute little crops that are like matching. So it makes me feel like a little bit cute, and doesn't give me the incentive to work out a bit more, but certainly has become a little bit of like a mom uniform of mine so that I can feel cute and comfy really easily. Hello. Oh, you're at a funny angle there. This is going to be like a wee continuation of the last time I picked up the camera. The last thing that I spoke about was heading off to yoga. First time I've been back to yoga for like sort of nourishing myself. it's all about really reducing our stress levels. You want your hair bubble? You wanted a hair to like mummy, didn't you? About reducing my cortisol levels, coming back to a moment that maybe needed to be guided for reflection, meditation, slowing down my breathing, slowing down my body, and just really reminding my nervous system that it is my body that I'm, please mummy, that I'm supported enough and nourished enough to support another baby. Uh-oh, did mummy drop it?
Yeah.
Here, you can have mummy's one. So with that, I've really been enjoying yoga and just like moving my body in different ways instead of doing the typical, what I would normally do, high intensity interval training, making the most out of the time and not like at all thinking about the body's reaction to that, which is like, let's spike those cortisol levels. So for me, that's been a huge change. Going back to yoga, I've really been enjoying doing the Wednesday class that Hilary does is like and I would say it's like a full body flow, so it's really lovely, and then there's like a full meditation at the end. Another thing that I wanted to talk about here for just regards to trying to conceive is like just self-care in general. So that does, for me, that might be yoga, but for someone else it might be going to acupuncture. I also went to acupuncture this week, and it's probably one of the few things that, you know, I'm like a little bit crunchy, but like I love to have the evidence behind things, and there is a fairly abundant amount of resources that support the use of acupuncture and Chinese medicine for regulating our cycles and supporting pregnancy. So that is something that I recommend a lot of my clients do if their cycles have been out of whack for a while, and something that I'm really implementing in this trying to conceive journey. I'll link some of those articles down below if I can find them. And then I suppose self-care in other ways. So if for you, you hold your body in a state of tension all of the time, your psoas maybe is really tight, what we're doing is we're sort of counterintuitively sending a message to our body that says we are in fight or flight mode. Our body is not in a safe place. And so sometimes it's about a bit of body work. It's about relieving ourselves of the tension that we hold in our body to remind our bodies that they are safe and they are okay. Do you have a lovely hairdo? You must show them, is that pretty? Sorry, I'm joined by a little cutie patootie today. And so that might be massage. I used to work with a wonderful woman, and she used to say, we hold a lot of issues in our tissues. And so that loving touch, that caring touch, whether you have paid for it or it's from your partner, can be a really beautiful way to help just and help you have success in trying to conceive.